Hello students, how are you? I hope you are doing well during this lockdown period. This is Virendra, your computer science teacher, and I am here to give you some important lecture on Microsoft Excel. As you know that the chapter number 3 revision session is already going on and you have watched the part 1 of this chapter. The name of the chapter is formula and function, right? So in this session we have completed many things, right? And this is the one kind of revision session, and in this revision session you will have a fruitful session by having many revisions of your topics. Okay students, so students, I just want to give you a warm welcome on my YouTube channel, and I hope you will definitely watch this video, and whatever the queries you have in your mind you will surely ask me, right? So students, without wasting any of the time, let's come to the our topics. Which topics we are going to revise here? Students, our first topic in this session, cell range. These are the subtopics: selecting a range, use of range in a formula, naming a range, using naming a range, and second one, cell references and its type, and last one, not the least, that is cell reference of another worksheet. Right? These are the few topics which we are going to cover in this session. So our first topic is cell range. Our first topic is cell range. So students, for understanding the cell range, first of all we should know what is cell range, right? What is cell range? So for having the details about cell range, what you will do here, first of all we will try to explain about what is range, right? Suppose this is the one kind of Excel sheet. Suppose this is the one kind of Excel sheet, and suppose you have written here, suppose you have written 10, you have written 100, you have written 1000, right? And suppose A, B, this is the name of the column, this is the name of the row. So address of 10 is A1, address of 100 A2, address of 1000 A3, right? So these are the contiguous cells, these continuous cells. Okay, the cells which are occurring one by one in a regular interval of time, right, means it is a continuous form. You can write this thing in one more way. How? A1 colon A1 colon A3. This is also one way to write cell range, right? This is the starting one and this is the last one, and in between of these two you have to put a colon sign. Okay, so this is the one kind of means basic understanding about cell range. Now if you talk about the cell range and how we are going to use that, let me erase the board and then we will give you the understanding about the same. Okay, suppose you want to add all of these. How we are going to add this? First method, you have to write equal to, then A1 plus A2 and A3. This is the one kind of basic formula, right? By using this basic formula you are able to add it, but right now we have to use the functions also. we have to use the function. So how we are going to use the function here? Equal to, then sum, then bracket. Inside the bracket you can either write the names of the column with names of the cell with comma sign, or you can directly use the cell range. How? Let me see. Suppose if I written like this will also give you the sum of the numbers, all the numbers, or you can write like this also, sum A1 colon A3. This is also one way to use the cell range, right? So please be remember, whenever you are using the cell range, means the group of the contiguous cell, at that time you have to use the colon sign, right? Now, after this, what we will do here, we are going to understand how we are going to use the cell range in a particular formula, right? Let me raise. This is also one kind of formula, but I will take some other formula here. Now, my target is which one is maximum. Which one is maximum? Equal to max. Then right here A1 colon A3. Now this is the range. Here you use the range. Okay. Now I want to give one more explanation here about how to name a particular range. You are having a range, but I want to give some particular name on the range. How are you going to do that? Okay, so for this, what I'll do here, first of all, you have to go to the formula tab. First, you go to the formula tab. There is one group. The name of the group is define name group. Define name group. After this, what we will do here? The name of the button is define name. You have to click here. Right? After clicking on define name, you will get one window. Now in this window you will get name, scope, comment, and reference. Name, scope, comment, and here is OK button. Here you will define the name of the range. Okay, and please make sure that whenever you are defining the name, at that time your name should be relevant to the particular data. Like if your data related to your some kind of related to money, so or some kind related to your date or year, whatever thing, so you can use it. Like I want to add the name, add the number of count of solids, so you can write here user underscore solid, or you can give any other name also. Okay, so I am taking here solids. The name of the range is solid. Now it's time to understand that how we are going to use this name of the range. How we are going to use this in a particular Excel sheet, right? So first of all, let me erase all the things. Now, what we will do here, again you have to go to the formula tab. I just want to erase it. What we will do here, once your name is going to be defined, you have to open your Excel sheet and go to the particular sheet where the data is available, right? So this is my data. Suppose I I want the sum on this cell. Okay, I want the sum here. So you will write here sum, right? Earlier you have written the range, but right now we have given the name of particular range. We have given particular name. What are the name I have already given? Solids. And once you press enter button, you will get the result. Right? So right now, no need to use the range here. You can use the name which is already given by you. Right? So this is all about your cell range, and I am damn sure you are able to understand each and everything. But if you still have any kind of doubt, any kind of problem, you can come to me. Let me raise the board and coming to the next topic. Our next topic is cell references and spec. Cell references and its types. So students, our first target is we have to understand what is cell reference. What is cell reference? Okay, so cell reference means whatever the addresses we are going to use in a particular Excel sheet, that Excel sheets having the cell addresses, right? So those addresses are known as cell reference, right? Because reason is that addresses are going to be used in a particular formula. That's why this is called cell reference. You are taking the reference of that address, okay, so that the formula become complete. Right? So please be remember that cell reference is nothing but it's a one kind of cell address that is used in a formula. Okay? Now, the cell reference is of three types. Number one, relative cell reference, absolute cell reference, absolute cell reference, relative cell reference, and the last one is mixed cell reference. Mixed cell reference, right? So these are the three types. Let me come to the first one, relative cell reference. Let me read the board here. So we are coming to the relative cell reference. Relative cell reference. Students, as you know that the word relative means it's one kind of a relation between the some other addresses, right? So students, once you talk about the relative cell references, so we have to understand that how it works, right? For this, let me give you one Excel sheet and then we'll try to give you a more understanding about this. So what I'll do here, let me make one Excel sheet here. One Excel sheet here, right? Here A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? The address here is A1, A2, A3, A4. Like that, the address cell have a particular address, right? So what I'll do here, suppose I have written here 10, 100, 1001, 1002, like this. some numbers are written in a particular cell, right? And suppose I want to copy this address here. I want to copy this address here. Okay. So whenever this data is going to copy from this place to this place, what is happening here? The data become pasted in a particular cell, but the address become changed. Right? One more thing. Suppose 100 is written there, okay, and you have selected this particular cell. Once your mouse pointer came at this place, it becomes plus. Mouse pointer changes to plus. Now scroll down. So after scrolling down, this become 100, this become 100, this become 100. Once you scroll down, at that time the content is going to be pasted in each and every cell, but the address of each and every cell is going to be different. Okay. After that, one more thing I just want to show you. Suppose here 101 is written there, 100, 101. Now, what I do here? Select both the cells continuously, both the cells. And here you will get mouse pointer getting changes into the plus. Now, drag down. Once you drag down, it will get 101, 102 like this, 101, 102 like this. It is getting increased now. But at that time, the addresses of the particular cell is going to change. So please ensure that, please be remember also, whenever we are going to make a copy paste in a particular cell, then address definitely become change. And this is happening in relative cell reference. Right? Let me come to the absolute cell reference so that you can have a more understanding about the same. Let me erase the board here. Now, our topic is absolute cell reference. Absolute cell reference. In this, what we do here, we have to use the dollar sign. Why? In the previous cell reference, you have understand, when you make any kind of copy paste or you have scrolling down your data, okay, at that time the addresses of the cells become changed, okay, and whatever the content are written there, okay, that content is going to be pasted in a particular cell, right? But this time in absolute you does not want to change the address of the cell, and whatever the content are there, that should be remaining constant. Right? So how it could be possible? Okay, for giving the best understanding, let me have one Excel sheet and then we'll proceed further. So this is your Excel sheet here. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. Suppose 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, right? So these are the some numbers I have already written here, right? So what I'm thinking here, I want the 10% of this number. Suppose I have increased 1 0 in each and every number, 1 0. I want the 10% of this number. Suppose I have written 10%, right? So at that time, when I want the result here on this, okay, this is for result. This all cells only for result. So what I will do here, first I will write equal to, then here 100, the address is A1, then into A2, then press enter. Okay, so if you write this address here, then you will get the result. But when you scroll down here, Okay, when you scroll down here, okay, it gives you a different result, right? Or suppose result is came here, and if you scroll down the same number, the result may differ, and this is also the part of relative self-reference. But the question arises here: how we are going to do that absolute self-referencing? Okay, so what I will do here, I does not want to change this number. Address should be changed, no, not going to be changed. Means A2 is there, A3, A4, A4. It is not going to be changed here. What I do here, I will put $1 here, $1 sign, $1 sign here, and one more. You have to also put a $sign. Now here, whatever the column name is there, whatever the row number is there, now if you drag down, it never become changed. Okay, and suppose your result is like 10 is written, your result is there. Okay, so once you get if you want the result of any of this number, so when you scroll down, okay, every time you will get the 10% of any of the number. Okay, so please make sure that your $sign must be used for absolute self-referencing. Clear? I hope you are able to understand each and everything. Okay, so students, with this I am coming to our next topic, that is mixed self-reference. Let me erase the board here. Next topic is mixed self-reference. Mixed self-reference. What only is a combination of relative as well as absolute self-referencing. It's a combination of both the things. It means that whatever the formula you have written here, whatever the things you have written here, you have to make the combination of these two. Means if you want to change the addresses of some of the cells, you can do, and if you don't want to change the addresses of some other cells, you can do. Okay, so right now this formula is written on this particular cell, that is okay C3, and once you scroll down, so these things not going to be changed, but A1 is become changed, A2, A3. So this, you can say this is the one kind of example of your mixed self-referencing. But this part is the example of absolute self-reference. This part is known as the part of absolute self-reference. But you can consider the whole line for the example of mixed self-reference also. Clear? So I hope you are able to understand each and everything. And one more request I want to do, that please watch the earlier videos also, because in earlier videos there is a practical demonstration already there. You can watch practically what the functions are doing, how the self-references work. Each and everything is done in the practical demonstration. So you have to watch the previous videos also. And please don't forget to press the bell icon, right, so that you can get the latest notification for my videos, right? And please don't forget to press the subscribe button also, right? So students, with this coming to the last topic of this session, and the topic name is self-reference of another worksheet. Let me erase the board here, and then we are coming to the next topic. So students, as you know that previous 2 or 3 topics are already getting revised here, okay, and you are surely able to understand each and everything, okay. But still your queries are there, you can ask me on the YouTube comment or WhatsApp also. So with this, I am coming to the topic number 3, that is self-reference of another worksheet. Self-reference of another worksheet, right? So this is the last topic of this session. So what I do here, we have to understand that how we are going to use the cell references of another worksheet. So there is two method. There is two method. Number one, copy paste method, and second one is exclamatory sign used for taking reference of worksheet. Okay, so in copy paste method, what are we here? As you know that in a worksheet, in a workbook, there is a three worksheets are there: sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. And suppose you have written some data, you have made some kind of table in sheet 1, right? And in sheet 2, suppose you have written in a particular cell, suppose you have written 10% like this. Okay, and you want to take the reference of that sheet 2 in sheet 1. Okay, so how you are going to do that? Okay, your first thing is you just copy the data from sheet 1 and paste it in sheet 2. Okay, at that time it taking the help of your sheet number 1. Okay, and whatever the data is there, that is pasted into another worksheet. But if you talk about the how to use the estimator set for the taking the reference of your sheet, so you have to write a particular way in a proper way. First, equal to sign, then right here sheet 1. This should be written here. Like if you take sheet 1, so you have to write sheet 1, then exclamatory sign. Okay, and then put the address here. Whatever the address is there. Suppose I have written A1. So this is the one kind of you can say a syntax to take the reference of the another worksheet. And suppose you have taken the help from sheet 1. Okay, you have taken the reference of sheet 1, and you have written this formula in sheet 2. Okay, and in A1 cell, some data is already written there. So if you use like this, whatever the content are there in sheet 1, that going to be pasted, going to be used in sheet 2, right? So this is the one way to have the reference of a particular sheet. Okay, so this is all about the cell reference of another worksheet. Okay, so let me erase the board and then we'll proceed further. Students, I hope each and everything is clear, but if you have any kind of doubt, any kind of query, you can come to me, right? You can come to me, you can make a call to me also, right? I will provide the number. So students, now it's time to say a big thank you to you. Why? Because you have watched my session from the starting till the end and you have enjoyed a lot, right? And I hope I will try to improve myself day by day and keep your sessions very entertaining, very enjoyable. Okay, keep watching it my videos or my earlier video. Keep sharing these videos or other videos to your friends, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Okay, whatever the valuable comments are there, please give it to me so that I can improve myself. Okay, so students, thanks so much for watching. Thanks again.